Morning everyone, we're on our way to Hayfield Lakes. This is one of my favourite venues. To match this qualifier, my second one of the year. It's gone really kind of overcast and cold. It's got really quite a strong wind today. Fingers crossed we draw a good peg. You need a good peg. These matches are impossible to do well if you don't get a good peg. We'll see you down there, see where we draw, and I'll see you at Hayfield Lakes. See you soon. Before we go any further, I'm just going to show you some of the things that I have to put up with the night before a fishing match. Trying to get this little guy to bed and out the room. All innocent lot. Lovely dog, aren't you? Eh? Not a nasty bone in his body. Watch this. You can't touch him. Come on, Tim. Come on. Oh, come on. Come on. Don't be like that. Come on, I'll carry you. Please. Come on, Toe, look. Please, don't be nasty. I'm your master. I'm your master. Don't be nasty. Come on. Toby. I want to go to bed. I've got a match in the morning. Tobe, I've got a match. I've got a match in the morning, Tobe. Come on. Come on. Please. Come on, let's go out for a wee. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, off to bed. Please, Tobe. Please. I'm carrying you now. I really am. I'm picking you up. Don't. You can't bite me. I'm your master. So, please. Don't do this. Come on. Come on. That's it now. Come on. Come on. Be nice. Be nice. Come on, be nice. Be nice. Good. That's Toby. Does anyone want him? Oh, it's terrifying. I've actually gone and drawn peg 81 on Big Adams. Now this is a really good peg in my opinion, probably one of my top 5 picks if I'm honest. It doesn't win a lot of matches, but you've got a lot of options, and if the fish are there you'll have a great match. This is the first time I've ever drawn it. I'm feeding 2 short lines with 6mm pellets, one in front of me, one at an angle to my right, but I'm opting to start slapping. This can be an absolute, you can get off to a rocket start slapping at Hayfield, especially on a good peg, and this will give you quite a quick indication of how good the area is. You're hoping for some quick bites. If you get bites straight away on this, I think you're probably in for an absolute rocket of a day. But I'll give this 10 minutes, slapping over an 8mm about 2 foot deep, slapping it 3 times there. The wind's absolutely perfect for the pellet waggler, so can't ignore that. I love fishing a waggler, and the wind is just going to make it easy for me to feed it perfectly around about 30 meters, and just fish that waggler absolutely perfect, to be honest. So I opted to feed that from the start. One of my plans of attack is going to be 14.5 meters with pellets on the deck. I've not caught many fish at Hayfield doing this, but it's always worth looking on the bottom. So I'm going to fish this line at 14.5 meters up and down. I'll only give this 10 minutes. I'm going to be on that short line very soon if I don't get a bite on this shallow line. And as it turned out, I actually didn't get any indications on that shallow line at all, which I felt was, it wasn't the greatest sign in the world. So I've already been feeding it by hand, just 2 pellets to the angled one to my right. So I've started there at 5 meters to my right, open for a bite. I haven't wasted too much time slapping, it just didn't feel like it was going to go. So I dropped on this short line as quick as I possibly could, really. Just flicking like 2 pellets there on that line straight in front of me as well, which I will be having a look on. Unfortunately, same again. It was an absolute dreadful start for me, really. I just didn't get any bites on that short line to my right. So then I'm now on the short line straight in front of me, and same again. I didn't get any bites, any signs at all. But, you know, one of my biggest plans of attack is fishing that pellet line at 14.5 meters on the deck. So, you know, I'm still feeding that. We're quite far in now. We're probably 30 minutes into the match and I hadn't had a single bite. But I'll be honest with you, I'd not seen anyone catch a fish at this point. Jamie Hughes was across. I'd see him catch one early, but around me, no one was catching anything at all. So I'm just feeding that pellet waggler line, priming that pellet waggler line, and I'm priming that pole line at 14.5 meters. So I don't waste too much time on that short line. So I'm now on the deck. We're probably 45 minutes in and I still haven't had a bite, but I just wanted to give that long pole, you know, a bit of a chance for something to settle on that line. So I left it as long as I could, and I'll be honest with you, I couldn't leave it much longer because I just weren't catching or getting bites anywhere I went. And the same again. I gave this line, I reckon I gave this line 15 minutes and I never had a single bite. So it was obvious straight away that it just wasn't going to plan. This wasn't going to be the match, you know, I wanted it to be. And so still feeding them 6 mils, still hoping that I'm going to get a bite, and it just doesn't happen. So I am now opting to go onto the waggler. I've got 2 wagglers set up. I've got one set at about 2 foot and I've got one set at about 4, maybe 4.5 foot. You normally, you know, one or the other will probably work normally, but the same again. You know, I'm on this waggler and I think I got an early-ish bite which kept me on it. I missed a bite, probably off a Carasio. It kept me on it a while, so I just flogged this waggler. I'm feeding it around about 30 meters and just chucking a really, really light styro over it. This is the 2 foot one. Speed it up. No, it's just, I'm not speeding me up, it's just the video. So yeah, so flogging this waggler away. Not a lot going on, on the lake, I'll be honest. Back on the deck rig, nothing on that. Shallow rig, nothing on that. Literally, like, just can't get a bite anywhere. We're probably about an hour and 15 minutes in now, and I've not had a bite. And then out of the blue, all of a sudden, I get my very first proper bite on the waggler, and it literally goes as it lands. So it was in amongst my feed, but there you go, straight away. And you know, it's a decent fish. Most of the fish on this lake, when you hook them on that waggler, are pretty decent. So a very welcome bite, but my first bite probably an hour and 15 minutes in. I'm sorry that I'm doing a talker over on this. I'd been to Whiteacres, I'd filmed 5 days in a row. My camera gear was a mess, I'll be honest. I've had a few camera failures on this day, and I don't know if I turned my microphone on or not, but I didn't have any mic footage, so I've got a few matches like that where I'm going to have to do a bit of a talk over. But you know, I thought it would be a shame to waste it. I thought I'd show you this match. You know, there might be a few things that you might find interesting. So yeah, that's my first fish on a waggler. Nice stamped fish, to be fair. I am going to speed the footage up. You know, I do get a few more bites on the waggler. They don't come fish after fish. You know, these bites take what, 20 minutes a piece. So you know, I do flog it for a while to eventually get my next bite. So I'm cutting out all the footage of me going back on the deck, on the pole. You know, I keep trying that long pole deck line, and I just couldn't get a bite on it, I'll be honest. So wagglers seem to be the only thing. The chap to my left at the minute, he's got a fish on, and I think that's actually his only fish, his only fish of the day, and it was a decent stamp. Another nice fish on the waggler. It was really noticeable that there wasn't a lot being caught on the lake on this particular day. For some reason this lake just didn't fish, but the lake behind us absolutely fished its head off. You know, every loads had over £100 on there. It was unfortunately it was just the wrong lake to be on the day. I mean, I've drawn a cracking peg, I've got a brilliant edge. So all I'm trying to do at the minute is build a few foundations to then hopefully put down that right hand edge past that bush and have a good run down the edge, which might potentially give me a chance of winning the match. That didn't pan out like that, to be fair. It was a tough all day. I was feeding casters down the edge, and I had a few carps starting to come in. We are getting late in the day now. I think at this point there's 2 hours left, and there is odd carp coming in down that edge. I think I'm on the phone again there to Sam Brown, probably. Either Sam Brown or Mark Griff, one of the two. So that's we seem to just yap all day, to be fair. But yeah, that edge line, I'm kind of leaving it alone, hoping that they'll just get their edge down properly, and when I go down there, I just absolutely empty it. That's the plan, anyway. I mean, I need to show you this rig, this waggler rig in the rig tank. It's an interesting rig. It's my own setup, and I think it works well. Another nice fish there on the waggler. These are all real nice fish, to be fair. Obviously put 2 worms on there, just give it a couple of slaps just to stun them, so that you can get a wrap over with worms that, you know, they can knock your line, but you have to lift it over this bush. It looks quite awkward, but you know, you just have to fish a soft enough elastic, but you don't want to be going too soft, because there is a bridge to the right and they will take you down the side of that bridge. So when you hook a fish, you literally have to lift it over that bush without touching the bush. I mean that couldn't have gone much more perfect, to be fair. So my float buried, first drop. I'll show you again in slow motion. If you touch that bush, you'll snap your pole, especially with the tension with your elastic. And I'll show you again in full speed how quick. So you have to be pretty quick. But yeah, that was, unfortunately, that was the only bite I had down that edge. And I thought there was going to queue up. There was some there. As soon as I caught that fish, that was it. That was my lot. They just cleared off. I and they didn't return. So I dropped on this short line, and to be honest, first drop on this short line, it buried, and I thought, wow, you know, I think at this point there's still 45 minutes left, so I thought I could still do some damage really if I catch well on these short lines. Unfortunately, again, that was my only bite on that short line. Another nice fish, but yeah, that edge didn't come good, the short line didn't come good. It was worth 2 bites, but if I could go back to that match, I'd have probably just fished a waggler from start to finish. I'm sure I'd have had more than 6 fish, and that is honestly, it's all I ended up with. And there's the Utah, and that's it, that's the all out. So
Trying to get fish on.
then the weighing, like I say, I'm only weighing 6 fish. Well, that's peg 81 at Hayfield Lakes. Do you know, cracking draw. A lot of people remember this peg from the match's final. Tom Edwards drew it, fished down there, lifted his pole over the tree. Well, I've had 1 fish down there, and I've loaded it out too heavy. It's been freezing cold, but I was patient. You know, I fed it, and I could see a few there. I left them alone, concentrated on the pellet waggler. I've had 6 fish for £45. Shows you don't need many fish, but yeah, definitely tough match that, really tough. Chap next to me, he's had 1, and then I think 2 stockies. Jamie Hughes has been across, he's packed up early. It's been freezing. I mean, I've practically had the wind over my shoulder, but it's still been freezing. So God knows what it was like for the lads with the wind in the faces. But yeah, it's almost like gone back into winter mode. Yeah, we've all struggled. I think it's been a really tough match. Harry Bignell's weighing at the minute. I think he's caught a few. But you know, I've weighed in because there's always a chance of winning this section. So, but there's a lad over there. He's caught. He's had quite a bit of room. He's caught down his edge. It'll all depend on the size of the fish. He's not caught loads, but he's caught about 7 or 8 fish. But there might be a lot smaller than mine. Yeah. Anyway, Hayfield Lakes, Maver Match This, cracking venue. Unfortunately, it's not fish great, but you know, that's fishing. You know, nothing wrong with the venue. The venue is absolutely looks wonderful. But yeah, it's just match fishing for you. Tough match. Anyway. See you next time. Thanks for supporting the channel. Tight lines. As it turned out, that lad across from me with the space, he ended up winning the section with £70. I was second in the section with £45, so it was still worth weighing in. But his fish was obviously, you know, better stamped. It was all edge fish. So yeah, that's Hayfield Lakes. So thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel, and I'll see you next time. Tight lines.